So this is an Adria Adora 613 UT Thames. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake as I go through a massive puddle will be demonstrated to you here on site when you collect the caravan. Front of the van, you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead and gas bottle. It's got a reverse thread fitment that goes into the gas bottle itself and an on-off valve for the gas system on top, so you can turn the gas on and off on top of the bottle. On the side of the van, you've got your water pump connection. So the water pump connection would simply go into the side of the caravan and then drop down into the aqua roll itself. On the side of the van, you've got your battery box with your mains power lead coming in, as you can see. And essentially, you'd connect up the power and then you'd be able to turn the power on inside of the van. Motor mover will be demonstrated to you while you're here on site collecting the caravan, and the wheel nuts will be torqued also, so you can see they've been tightened correctly while you're here. The fridge vents on the side of the caravan are these two vents there. Essentially what they do is allow the hot air out the back of the fridge unit, so the fridge unit doesn't get too hot, and also there is a gas flue behind one of these as well. The wheel nuts will be torqued before the caravan leaves site. On the back of the van, you've got a toilet flush tank, which you can open with the key for the caravan, and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette. Let me just grab the key so I can show you that. So you've got the toilet waste cassette at the bottom, which you open up. And you've got the toilet cassette here. Bearing in mind the caravan hasn't been cleaned yet, so I do apologise if it's not clean fully. But the handle at the bottom, the orange handle that you see, will allow you to pull the cassette out the side of the van. On top of the cassette, you've got the turn-out neck that allows you to tip the waste away. And there's an orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette that you press in to allow the air out the cassette before you tip it into the on-site facilities. You'd need to fill this tank with 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. On the back of the van, you've got your wind down legs on either side, as you can see. I haven't got them down for the purpose of the handover video. It's only going to be myself inside of the van. You'd never lift the caravan with the wind down legs. They are just there to steady the van while it's on site. You've got a storage locker for underneath the French style bed in this caravan, which as you can see is just the other side of the window. And essentially you can access the storage from here or inside of the caravan. You've then got your storage locker for the front of the van, so you can access in the front of the van, and you've got a gas barbecue point also at the front. Going inside the van, next to the door, you've got the main power switches, so you're going to need to turn on the master power switch prior to doing anything else. Then you've got your main light switch and your auxiliary light switches and connections down the bottom here. Got a voltmeter gauge here for the battery on board the caravan, and above that you've got your Aldi heating and hot water control panel. To fill the water system, first of all, you're going to need to come in the cupboard just as you come in the door, and make sure both the yellow and grey valve on the floor, these two here, are parallel and in the position they are in now. If they are upright and pointing towards the bottom of the cabinet, then the water system wouldn't actually fill. It'd drain all of the water straight back out the bottom of the van. So to fill the system, like I said, both the valves parallel with the floor. At that point, you can come over to every tap on the caravan and you'll see I've already bled the system. You'd open all the taps up on the hot side before you start to fill the system. So you'd open all the taps up so it lets any air out. So that's the hot side of the water system. Then you come back over to the control panel just here that says pump and turn this switch on so the red light comes on as well. At that point, you'll get water coming out of the taps after about 5 to 10 minutes or so. The water system will be full. We always advise to keep an eye on it, and it will spit and splatter to start with till it has got rid of the air out of the system. Once the water system is full, you can shut every tap back off in the caravan. You don't need to bleed the cold side, as it will just pull straight off the aqua roll on the outside of the van. But the hot side you do need to bleed due to the fact it goes through the hot water tank. So once the system's full, you can come over to the control panel on the other side of the van, press the menu button just here, and at the top here you've got your control for the heating internally on the van. You've got minus or plus to set the temperature. Below that you've got your water heating, so when it's grey on this side the water heating is off, and you've got water on and water boost. So when this bar is completely full, like I said, it'll be water boost. Halfway up, it's just water on, and that will roughly warm the temperature up to around 35 to 40 degrees on the water system. Below that here, you've got the amount of power coming into the caravan. So you can see at the moment it's turned off. You've got the option of 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, or 3. This essentially controls the amount of power the Aldi heating and hot water system will use from the site you're on, and you'd know what power source to use by asking the site office when you arrive on that particular caravan site. To ignite the systems on gas, you'll press the gas option here, and it'll allow you to ignite the water heater and heating systems on gas. So if you're off grid, for instance, you use the gas solely, but you can also use the gas as a boost if you're on a site, for instance, where you haven't got a massive amount of power available. So that is your main control panel for the heating and hot water systems. So like I said, temperature internally up and down at the top, water temperature on, off, on and boost, amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on, and gas operation at the bottom. If it does ever fail to ignite on gas, I should just let you know, it comes up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen with 2 exclamation marks either end. In the options that you see down here, we advise you read the manual for, just due to the fact if I was to take you through these in the video, it'd probably take me 2 to 3 hours to get the video completed. Cooker, hob, etc. work all very much like your household items, no differences at all there, and as you go around the caravan, you'll notice the different switches for the lights, etc. We're going to go into, we're going to take you over to the, oh actually I'll take you into the wardrobe first. In the wardrobe here, you'll actually see that there is an Aldi heating tank. Now this is the hot water, the heating for the caravan, and you'll notice in that tank there is a fluid. That is actually antifreeze. You never need to drain this tank down. You leave the system full at all times. Like I said, it is an antifreeze, a bit like you've got in your car, so it doesn't freeze over the winter. If you ever have a problem with this system or need to top it up at all, please do call here and speak to our engineers, or give Neil Waples, our workshop manager, an email. Going to go to the fridge system next, which again is very simple to operate. You've got power on, so you press and hold for the power to come onto the fridge. As you can see here at the top, we're currently on mains power and the temperature's halfway up. To adjust the power supply you're using, you press and hold the grey button, and it will start flashing the symbols here. With the arrows either side, you can go to 12-volt battery for when you're towing down the road. So essentially, if you're towing the caravan, you can use the fridge as a call box, but it works off the 12-volt supply from a car you're towing with at the front on the A-frame connection. So the power supply to the caravan, essentially. That will power the fridge as a call box if you have it connected to the car, and come inside and turn it on before you travel. So like I said, we'll press the grey button. We'll go over to the gas. The gas system will self-ignite, and you set any of the power sources by pressing the grey button, which will then give you the option to change the temperature of the fridge with the arrows also. You can see here. Like I said, the system will self-ignite on gas. If it ever fails to ignite, it'll actually flash the gas symbol on the front screen of the fridge at you to indicate that it has failed to ignite. If this is the case, we advise you go to the hob, for instance, reignite the hob, and then come back to the fridge and try and get the fridge to reignite again. Otherwise, 240-volt mains, as long as you're connected to a power source on site, will work as you'd expect to. The 12-volt mode, like I said, will only work on the car if you have a 13-pin connector on the car, or the two 7-pin, so you've got the black and the grey plug on the car, and the correct adapter. Coming through into the bathroom of the caravan, we've got the toilet system, which has an electric flush on top of the toilet, which is the blue button. Next to that, you'll see there is an indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. And below the toilet, at the front, you have the grey handle here, which you push across to allow the toilet waste to go in the cassette underneath the van. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience. However, when you are removing the toilet cassette from the side of the van, you need to make sure it's pointing straight across towards the shower, because it will lock the toilet cassette in place if it is turned, so it can't be removed while the toilet is being used. We do not advise using any bleach products on a toilet in a caravan, or plastic work in a caravan, because it may potentially stain them yellow. On the Adria, there is one last feature I'm going to show you, and it's for when you're travelling abroad, essentially in Europe. Just down here, you'll notice there is a light switch that turns on the lights at the rear of the caravan. This is essentially here, so if you broke down in a foreign country, for instance France, Germany, etc., you'd be able to turn this on to let people know you've stopped at the side of a road, and that is the only time you turn them on when you're travelling. It does not operate the rear lights. That is solely still done by the power supply, the connection from the car to the caravan. If you have any further questions on the Adria Adora 613 UT Thames, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We thank you for your business, and we hope you enjoy the caravan. Bye bye.